Before the US dollar, before the British pound, before any paper currency existed, there was one coin that held the entire world in its grip. A small silver disc, stamped with the face of an emperor, accepted from the frozen forests of Britain to the spice markets of India. This is the story of the Roman Denarius, the world's first financial anchor. The year is 211 BC. The Mediterranean burns with war. Carthage threatens Rome's very existence. Hannibal's elephants cross the Alps. Roman blood soaks Italian soil. But in the midst of chaos, Rome does something no civilization has ever done before. They create a weapon, not made of iron, made of silver. Picture the ancient world, a chaotic marketplace of confusion. A farmer in Gaul trades goats for grain. A merchant in Egypt exchanges pottery for papyrus. A warrior in Germania barters furs for bronze. Every region, every tribe, every kingdom, speaking a different economic language. Trust, impossible. Long-distance trade, a nightmare. Then Rome mints the denarius for 0.5 grams of pure silver, perfectly round, perfectly stamped. One coin, one standard, one truth. The denarius wasn't just money. It was a promise every coin bore. The emperor's face, not decoration, verification. In a world without banks, without receipts, without digital ledgers, the emperor's portrait was Rome's signature, a primitive blockade carved in silver. When a merchant in Alexandria held that coin, he didn't need to speak Latin. He didn't need to trust Rome. He only needed to trust the weight, the purity, the standard, and Rome guarded that standard like a sacred flame. Deep in the hills of Spain, Roman engineers carved into mountains. The silver mines of Iberia became the beating heart of a new world economy. Slaves hauled ore. Furnaces blazed day and night. Molten silver poured into molds. This wasn't just mining. It was empire building through metallurgy. The central mint in Rome became the nerve center of global finance. Master craftsmen tested every batch. Purity levels were non-negotiable because Rome understood something revolutionary. Control the money, control the world. But creating a global currency meant facing impossible odds. How do you convince a Persian trader to accept your coin? How do you make a Chinese merchant trust Roman silver? How do you turn metal into faith? Rome had one advantage: the legions. Every Roman soldier was paid in denarii. 600,000 soldiers. Stationed from Hadrian's wall to the deserts of Syria, they didn't just conquer territory. They injected currency. A soldier buys bread in a German village. The baker now holds a denarius. He uses it to buy wool. The shepherd uses it to pay taxes. Suddenly, an entire frontier economy runs on Roman money, not by choice, by necessity. Because if you wanted to pay your taxes to Rome, you needed denarii. If you wanted to sell to Roman markets, you needed denarii. If you wanted to survive in the Roman system, you needed denarii. The coin became a chain, linking millions of people to a single economic heartbeat. But the real test came beyond the borders. The Silk Road, where Rome's military couldn't reach, where power meant nothing, where only value mattered, somewhere in the deserts between empires, a Roman merchant meets a Chinese trader. Different languages, different gods, different worlds. The Roman offers silk prices in denarii. The Chinese trader examines the coin, weighs it, tests it, bites it, then nods. In that moment, something changes. The denarius crosses from military currency to universal truth. Archaeologists would later find hoards of denarii buried in India, hidden in caves in Afghanistan, stacked in vaults in Sri Lanka. Roman coins. In lands Rome never conquered. Why? Because the denarius did what military force couldn't. It earned trust through consistency. Every coin, the same weight. Every coin, the same purity. Every coin, a promise kept. Merchants along the Silk Road didn't care about Roman gods. They didn't care about Roman laws, but they cared about silver they could depend on. And for 400 years, the denarius never lied. Banking houses emerged in every major Roman city. Credit systems developed. Letters of exchange replaced physical coins for large transactions. The Romans accidentally invented institutional finance. All because one coin became universally trusted. But every empire has a shadow. Every promise has a breaking point. The year is 235 AD. Rome faces crisis, barbarian invasions, civil wars, economic collapse. The treasury runs dry, and desperate emperors make a fatal choice. They debase the metal. At first, just a little. Mix copper with the silver. Nobody will notice. The coin still looks the same. But merchants aren't fools. They weigh, they test, they see the truth. A denarius into 11 BC, 95% pure silver. A denarius into 70 AD, 5% silver. The same coin, hollowed from within. What took centuries to build, destroyed in decades. Inflation explodes, prices spiral, trust evaporates. The coin that once commanded empires becomes worthless metal. By 300 AD, the denarius is dead, replaced by new currencies. But the damage is done. The economic language that unified 3 continents, shattered into 1,000 dialects. Yet even in death, the denarius achieved immortality long after Rome fell. Its monetary ghost haunted the world. Medieval Europe based currencies on Roman standards. Islamic caliphates minted coins using Roman weights. The British pound, the Italian lira, even the word. Money itself, all echoes of Rome's silver revolution. The denarius proved something humanity would never forget. A universal currency is possible if you maintain the standard, if you keep the promise, if you protect the purity. Archaeologists still find denarii today, buried in fields, hidden in walls, preserved in shipwrecks, each one a frozen moment of trust. A merchant who believed in silver, a soldier who believed in empire, a world that believed in a common language. For 400 years, the Roman denarius was the world's reserve currency. Longer than the British pound, longer than the US dollar has reigned. It survived wars, plagues, emperors, and revolutions. It didn't fall to enemies. It fell to greed, to the illusion that you can create value from nothing, that you can break promises without consequences, that you can debase the metal and keep the trust. Today, we debate Bitcoin, Ethereum, central bank digital currencies. We argue about the future of money, but we're having the same conversation Rome had 2,000 years ago. What makes money valuable? Trust. What destroys that value? Broken promises. The Denarius didn't just govern trade. It taught the world a lesson we keep forgetting, that every currency, from silver coins to digital wallets, rests on one thing: the belief that tomorrow it will be worth what it was today. Rome kept that promise for centuries. Then they broke it, and an empire fell. The coin is dead, but the lesson is eternal. Somewhere in a museum, a denarius sits behind glass, a small silver disc, worn smooth by ancient hands, the emperor's face barely visible. But if you hold it to the light, you can still see the world it created, still feel the power it commanded, still hear the whisper of merchants across continents, speaking the same language, trusting the same truth, united by silver. If you love cinematic history stories that reveal the hidden forces that shaped our world, hit that like button. Share this with someone who loves epic tales from the past, and subscribe for more legendary stories from the empires that built civilization.